Projects are a universal way of doing work, and you will find them in every industry. But what is a project? Well, a project is a temporary endeavour set to deliver a unique change. The key point here is that it has a clear start and end point. At the beginning of the project, we all need to understand what is most important to the project. There are 4 key factors within any project to think about when you're trying to understand what is most important to that project. First, the time. How long we can spend on this project. Next, how much money can we spend on delivering the project. After this, we have quality. And of course, the quality can be very low or very high or somewhere in the middle. Finally, the scope. And by scope, I mean specifically what the deliverables of the project will do, or in other words, how many features it will have. Now, in Agile environments, we tend to believe that a large percentage of features that we deliver won't actually be used. So often the safest variable to focus on is the scope. Now, there is a fantastic way to figure out just exactly how the scope might change, and it's a process called Moscow Prioritization. To help explain this a little more, we have brought in one of our resident experts who has a lot of experience using Moscow to help Agile teams deliver projects successfully.
Moscow is a tool that is used to prioritize a list of requirements or a list of tasks in order of the value to the customer or the end user. So M within the Moscow acronym stands for must-haves, which are features or tasks that are critical, i.e. without those tasks or features, that product or that service would not be viable. S stands for should have, which stands for a feature that is, if it were possible, it would be nice to have it included and will add some value to the business. C stands for could have, which is a feature or an aspect or a task that is not critical, but should there be enough time and budget, it would be good to have included, so that they are nice to haves. And then W stands for won't have. It's typically a requirement that was requested but is not deemed a high business value, and neither is it deemed critically urgent. So it could easily be dropped off, as in not done as part of the list of things to do. So an example of where you could apply, a good example of that might be the sort of prioritization an event planner would undertake to plan a conference or plan an event. The event planner might list several tasks, such as the venue, procuring a venue for the event, might want that venue to be within half a mile radius of an underground station, might also want to have doggy bags to give out branded materials to delegates who attend the event, might want to put on refreshments, and part of those refreshments could include sandwiches, buffet, or alcohol. And so if you assume that the list that I have spoken about is ranked in the order that the event planner has in mind, then the venue would be a must-have for sure. You can't have an event without a venue, and ideally most events I've been to are in close proximity to an underground station. So those 2 criteria would be must-haves. Perhaps goodie bags could be the should-haves, because definitely they would be very nice to have accompaniment to any event. And alcohol would be a won't-have. Food would definitely have a higher priority. Maybe sandwiches at least would be a higher priority than alcohol. So that would kind of be an example of how a Moscow prioritization approach might be applied by an event planner.
So, projects are a universal idea used to deliver work. They tend to have 4 variable qualities: time, money, quality, and scope. All of these can change, and it's up to you and your team to collaborate with your stakeholders to understand how that project must be delivered. Oftentimes though, the scope is the easiest to manipulate, and you can use Moscow prioritization to do this in a really simple way.